Hi, my name's Corey, and I'm pleased to meet you today. Is there any specific name that I can call you? What would you like to go by?
Crystal.
Okay, Crystal, it's nice to meet you. As you know, you are at Mountain Comprehensive Care Center. We're a community-based mental health center, and the clerical told me you had made an appointment for an intake. And during the intake process, pretty much what I will be doing is gathering some information on your past and what kind of problems and symptoms that you've been having and how long they've been going on. And also we'll be having you to sign some of our documentation as a new client. One of the things that I'll explain to you is our consent for treatment and our privacy and act, and that explains confidentiality and what you can expect from that, and a couple of other different forms that we'll go through while I'm with you. The first one that I want to talk to you a little bit about is your privacy practices, and I'll get it out here and I'll explain it to you. It pretty much states that everything you say in a station is confidential, but there are a few times by law that confidentiality is broken. Some of those times would include if you would ever come in and tell me that you're going to hurt yourself or somebody else. By law, I have to report that and make sure that that doesn't happen. And if you give me a specific name, then I also have to report it to that person, let them know that you made a threat against them. Also, by law, if you would ever come in and tell me that yourself, another adult, or another child is being abused in some way or another, I have to report that to the proper authorities and tell them where that information came from. That way, if they need any follow-up information, they can contact you. And if the judge or court would ever order your records, they'll get that information, because we can't tell them no. A lot of times we will try to let you know if that happens in advance, that like a judge's order your records. Sometimes that's possible, sometimes it's not. It just depends. Do you have any questions on confidentiality?
How much is the fine if you breach confidentiality?
Like myself, if I breach confidentiality, I'm not really sure. I know there's a fine and possibility of prison time, but that doesn't happen only unless it's in the cases that I explained to you, and that's perfectly legal. There are times that if you come in and sign a release for somebody to have your records, then they'll have access to them, but that's only if you sign a release. So any other questions on confidentiality? Okay.
No, sir.
I'll have you to sign by the 2 X's for me, if you don't care. Okay, thank you. Another important form that we're going to go over is your client rights and responsibilities, and I'll read these to you. It says you can access treatment at the center regardless of race, religion, or ethnicity. You have the right to recognition and respect of your personal dignity in the provision of all treatment and care. You have the right to be provided treatment and care in the least restrictive environment possible. You have the right to and will be provided an individualized treatment plan. You and your legal representative have the right to participate in treatment planning. You have a right to know the nature of care, procedures, and treatment that you will receive. You have a right to know the risks, side effects, and benefits of all medication and treatment procedures used. And you have the right, to the extent permitted by law, to review medication and treatment procedures. Any questions on your rights and responsibilities?
No, sir.
Okay, and I'll get you to sign by the X for me right there. Yeah, and you can just call me Corey again. Calling me sir makes me feel kind of old.
Okay, sir. Corey.
Thank you. Yeah, I was like, I'm already getting old. One of the other things under the responsibility part as being a client is that if you're scheduled for an appointment and you can't keep it, we like for you to at least try to call in advance and let us know that you're not coming. That way we can maybe fit another client in if that's an available spot. Sometimes we understand that things come up at the last minute and you're not able to cancel, but if at all possible, please do that. And this form here allows us, it's called consent for treatment. It's pretty much stating that you are signing yourself in for treatment through our agency, and it allows us to provide information to your insurance provider so we can get covered for services. And one of the last ones is all of our clients that come through our agency, we like for them to have a physical provided by their regular medical doctor. And that way we're aware of any types of health problems that you may be having in case our psychiatrist or nurse practitioner decides that they want to put you on medication, so they know that the medical problems won't be made worse. And I'll give you a copy of that so you can take it to your medical provider. And during our interview process, I'll be taking some notes, so if you have any questions on what I'm writing down, you can just ask me and I'll tell you. And also, our agency has a policy that in the future, if you decide you want a copy of your records, you can come in and make a request for that, and they'll give you a copy of it. It usually takes about 2 days for them to get everything printed out and ready, and you can come back and pick that up. So, any questions on that?
No for me.
Okay. Now we're going to start with asking a little bit of background history. What is your main reason for coming in today?
Just feeling a little off, depressed. Holidays are coming up and it's pretty hard. I lost my significant other around Christmas. And so I know about this time, as we get ready to come into Thanksgiving and all the holiday seasons, I tend to also, have the seasonal affective disorder. So
this has been going on for a few months now.
this is something that's been on and off for a couple of years.
Okay.
With the seasonal affective, but with the losses about the last 3-4 years.
Okay.
So I know that it's coming, and I figured I'd just go ahead and come on in and sort of hit it off.
I don't think I caught if you don't mind, I may have missed it, but what year did your spouse pass away?
2008, 9.
Okay. So that's been a few years ago, and that's been going on since then?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do you, in that time frame, has there been any periods where you felt like things have got a little bit better and you haven't been as depressed or sad, or has it just been constant, like feeling down and depressed since then?
I notice I do better during the summertime because I can get out and do more things. And if I can keep myself active and busy, then it's not as bad. But when I have to be forced indoors, more time to think and dwell.
Okay, definitely. So it gets worse around the winter months when you can't get out and do things that you enjoy. Do you have any support systems around you right now that can help you?
Have several friends and family members. The place I work is pretty good.
Okay, so you do have a job, a full-time job?
Yes, sir. Yes, for you.
Okay. Has it affected your job in any way, like your depression? Caused you any problems there?
I wouldn't think so.
You don't think so? Okay. What about any types of changes in your appetite, sleep, anything like that?
Some days I feel like I just don't want to eat, and other days I feel like I got a hollow leg.
Okay. So your appetite just kind of fluctuates up and down? Okay. What about energy?
During the winter time, that's when I start feeling really lethargic. I don't want to get out of bed.
Okay. And have you noticed yourself having any type of mood swings, personality changes?
Shorter temper,
Okay.
shorter fuse.
So it seems like you're saying like little things set you off, or?
Little insignificant things. The big things usually don't bother me too bad, but it's just like the insignificant things, the little trivial things is the ones that pushes my buttons.
Okay. It's understandable with everything that you've been through. What about kids? You have kids?
2,
2. And if you don't mind me asking, how old are they?
7 and 14.
7 and 14. So that definitely keeps you busy, I can imagine, especially a teenager. And anything what you consider positive going on in your life right now?
Well, I think it's positive that I'm here.
Definitely, it is a good step to take to seek treatment. And that leads me to another question. Have you ever went to counseling in the past or been on any type of medication for your depression? Do you mind telling me a little bit about that and how well it helped?
I went to my family doctor for a couple years and really didn't get the therapy part of it, but I decided this time to come in and do the talk therapy as well as the medicine, thinking that maybe it can really dig into the root of things. But they did me, let's see, I tried Lexapro.
Lexapro. And do you think it helped at all?
I think it did, but it made me very tired when I first started it. Like when I first took it, I wanted to fall asleep. And I'd be sitting there eating and I'd be like ready to fall asleep in my food.
Okay, so that's definitely not good, falling asleep in your food. And about how long do you think you were on it?
For about 2 years.
2 years? Okay. And that was the only thing that you tried was Lexapro? Okay. And I guess another question that I would ask, and did you take it always as prescribed, or were you consistent with it? Okay, awesome, good.
I had to come off of it when I got pregnant because it's not indicated for pregnancy.
Okay. And did you notice when you came off of the medication that the depression came back as worse or just about the same as it was?
I don't think it really came back at that time because, I had something to focus on.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
and I haven't been on medication since.
Awesome. What is some things that has worked in the past? I know you said during the summer it's not as bad because you get out and do things. What are some things that you get out and do and get involved in?
Walk,
Okay.
just swimming, activities with the kids, back and forth, doing things with my family, doing things with my friends, just getting out and spending time out in the air and in the sun.
Okay, so exercise and getting out and about and you feel better at that time. Those are good activities to participate in.
I tend to eat better those times too.
Oh, okay, so you're like eat healthier, is that what you're saying?
I eat more fruits and things, and I notice in the wintertime I just want to eat more junk food.
Okay, that can definitely have a effect on your mood, is like lots of sugar and things like that, processed foods. Okay, and what about, is there any type of history of any mental health disorders that run in your family?
Depression, anxiety, and
Okay, who had the depression and anxiety?
my mom.
Okay. What about your dad?
He's just a little grumpy.
Grumpy, okay. Okay. What about any type of substance abuse issues?
Don't drink, don't smoke.
Okay, so none of those things. Awesome. After I finish with your intake, I will discuss the information I collected with my supervisor, and we'll discuss like what type of treatment and diagnosis to go with. And at that point, then you'll come back. We'll set you up another appointment, and you'll come back in, and you'll be assigned a therapist to work with. And that's when they'll start setting up treatment goals for you and helping you write a treatment plan to go by. And hopefully we can get you back on track and get you to where you're starting to feel better and not as depressed. Any questions about that process that I can answer for you? Awesome, okay. And we'll go downstairs and get you a return appointment to be made, and in about 4 days. Is that okay with you? Okay. And at that point, I should have my intake typed up. If you want a copy of it, you can request that for your records. And please try to have the physical brought back with you when you come back. And would you also, when I schedule a therapy appointment, want me to schedule you an appointment with their nurse practitioner or psychiatrist for medication management?
I think I'd rather just do talk therapy at this time.
Okay, so we'll try that first. Awesome. Okay. And